Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. What's up, everybody? This is Zach, again, Zach, the creator of Jellag Radio and many more podcasts on the website, Zach.coffee. That's ZACK.COFFE. If you're just tuning in, we're having a global DJ party of Jellag Radio 3600 version 53. And here are the couple of songs that we've been listening to in the recent couple of minutes. After Laid Back Luke's Gasoline, we listened to Santa Kleinenberg's My Lexicon, then Jochen Miller, Lost Connection, Marcel Woods, Advanced Reborn, Marco V, Does It Feel Good, Lily Palmer and Maddox, Late at Night, Santa Van Doren's Take Your Praise. Right now we're listening to Sam Feldt, Crying on the Dance Floor. Formula One is in England right now for the Silverstone GP. Big shout out to the women's under 20 French rugby squad who just won their match against Italy. Bonjour. Bien joué. There's a new campaign of Democrats trying to flip about 34 districts into Democrats that are Republican districts. So it's a big campaign. They're preparing this for the midterms in 2026, which will be next year. As you know, you live in the neighborhood, like Spider-Man in the neighborhood. Here are your representatives locally. If you live in Modesto, your congressman is Adam Gray. If you live in San Joaquin County, your congressman is Josh Harder. So if you like Tracy or Turlock. If you live in Sacramento, Ami Bera is your congressman. If you live in California, your state senator is Alex Padilla and Adam Schiff. Your governor is Gavin Newsom, and your previous Democratic president was Joe Biden. Vice president was Kamala Harris. Now, Kamala Harris is from San Francisco, so that's another reason why I like to go to San Francisco. There's a lot of people are like, what do you do in San Francisco? You got a secret person? You have a secret friend or something? No, I like to drive to San Francisco because I can listen to my techno, listen to all my dance music, drink a cup of coffee, and just drive around and listen to my favorite tunes. So, as you know, that's why I'm going to San Francisco. I like driving. A lot of people that love cars, whether you're in 86 Squad, whether you're in Reach Out Worldwide, Paul Walker's Foundation, whether you like Fast and Furious, things like that. That's why I drive either to San Francisco or at the very least halfway through. Unfortunately, I've been unable to do so because right now I don't have much gas. Yeah, driving is very therapeutic for me. A lot of people are like, "What do you drive?" A lot of us like to go cruising. We love driving, and I know a lot of you guys hate your commutes. But those of us who love cars, we love this. And as for Max Verstappen, if you really do plan on moving on to Mercedes-Benz, then yes, possibly I will consider owning a Mercedes-Benz if it is donated to me. If it is an AMG Mercedes Benz, full size. I would love to drive it. And as always, my preference is the Audi RS or the BMW M. I still would settle for a Porsche GTS, to be honest. Actually, I'm in the contest for the 8080, the 8080 contest for DCG 80, which is a Porsche 911 GT3 RS. All right, I want to see how much of the 30 minutes we've done so far. Anyway, let me go ahead and take a quick pause. I'm going to use the restroom. I'll be right back. Now, after listening to Reach Me by First State, Funker Man, I Got This Feeling, Feather to the Grand, The Rhythm. Now we're listening to Chopsticks by Jay Hardway. Really could use some sushi right now. All right, we have less than 5 minutes left. Once again, a big good luck to all the Formula One racers today, but a big good luck to Max Verstappen and everybody at Team Oracle Red Bull Racing. Big shout out to Red Bull. Red Bull, if you're watching, I would love for Red Bull Gaming to become a sponsor for my YouTube channel, my live stream channel of PlayStation Gaming, and Coffee with Zach in English, Coffee with Zach in French. All right, the practice is complete. All right, we leveled up.
And that's it. Practice is officially over. Until next time, goodbye.
We got a trophy. Very nice. Do I recognize you? Very nice.
Welcome to your Contracts Hub. Here, you'll be able to view your current contract and all the information relating to it. To start, you can see all the base information for your current contract, your target rating, your current rating, and more. In this main area, you'll find a graph that tracks your rating each race. It will also display your target, so you can see how far off you are. Obviously, we haven't raced yet, so there's no data. Be sure to come back and check this after each race weekend.
Okay, mate, let's chat R&D. Research and development's may be the most important aspect of F1, and you and I are going to work together to bring on the car's performance. This is where you'll be investing in upgrades. We have 4 areas of development. Here you can see an overview of the departments and how many upgrades are currently applied in each. Selecting one of these will take you to their respective tech trees. In order to develop upgrades, you'll have your very own resource point account, unique to you as a driver. Your teammate's going to have their own one too. Your current resource points can be viewed on your player card here, and points are earned passively each week. And the higher your recognition, the more points we'll give you. You can also earn points via practice programs, and, well, you know how much I love getting good data. Finally, this chart shows the performance you've extracted from each department based on the number of applied upgrades. You can also see the max potential for each department based on the remaining upgrades. Hopefully it helps you to see where we are and how far we can go.
Ah, there we go. This is what I was looking for. Skip and simulate. All right, after listening to Oliver Heldens, I Want Your Love, Julian Jordan, Operator, Umed Oskan Era, and Quintino the Beach. That's what you're listening to right now, Quintino the Beach.
Well, what an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
Alright, so I hit the wrong button. It was supposed to do the third practice. Speaking of Saudi Arabia, big shout out to Cristiano Ronaldo and Al Nasser.
We're about to set the grid for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Yes, it's qualifying.
A big shout out to Gara, Sultan from Saudi Arabia, who is trying very hard to get this ceasefire in Gaza Strip. Thank you for your hard work. Another trophy up to the pointy end. Very nice.
Goodbye for now then, but really we're just getting started. Make sure to join us again for Lights Out tomorrow.
All right, let's have a race. After listening to Rehab's 10 out of 10,
We're here today on the shores of the Red Sea.
Seat
in the
Van
Lower
Riel's
Hijaz
Alive
Mountains
Tonight remix.
To visit one of the newest circuits on the Formula One calendar.
Now you're
We're
listening
in Jeddah,
to
home to what we all hope is going to
Be There by
a thrilling Saudi Arabian Grand
Nicky Romero.
Prix. So let's take a look at the topographical map of the Jeddah Street Circuit. As you can see, a number of challenging corners for the drivers to master here. We'll see just how much the teams have benefited from their time spent in practice this weekend. And like many street circuits, this track has the potential to punish drivers that get it wrong. Let's hope we avoid any safety cars today. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And Lando Norris lines up alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Russell, Hamilton, Fernando Alonso, Leclerc, Perez, Oscar Piastri, Sainz, Stroll, Albon, Tsunoda, Gasly, Ocon, Ricciardo, Hülkenberg, Bottas, Magnussen, Joe, and Logan Sargent. Now it's almost time for Lights Out, so let's go down to the track. And alongside me today, a man small in stature, but
Now
big
the
on comment, Anthony Davis.
safety car is an
Hello.
Aston Martin.
I don't want to, but we should look at their recent performances, and I think poor is a universal word to describe them.
Yeah, it's hard to say sometimes, and it's hard to accept yourself as well. It's easy to go blaming other circumstances as to why your driver rating might have slipped, but it's time for a reset. You got to get back to where you were. You know you can do it. You've proven it in the past. So now it's time to make that happen.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down. DRS is being enabled this lap. We can use DRS when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
Really great track.
That was the fastest lap of the race. Keep this up. Well done. Okay, Max, we've got some clear track in front of us, and let's make the best of it. So please make this next one a very fast lap. Oh, great stuff. You hit that target. Really good job.
Thank you.
Great work. That's a new fastest lap of the race. Okay, this is your final lap of the race.
No trophy takes the flag. Very nice.
Tricky idea, but it's great job, guys. You managed that really well. Thank you.
The checkered flag is out. We're going to be hearing that Dutch national anthem again because it's victory for Max Verstappen.
Yeah.
And it's always good, Crofty, to get that momentum on your side, and it's really good for your confidence as well. The more confident you are, the
All right, after
further that
listening
can take
to
you.
Sydney Sampson, Move Yourself, Showtech Save the Day, Sick Individuals, Endless Dreamers. The next song
Red
we're
Bull
going to
are our
listen
winners
to is
today
by
after
Origin
showcasing some
Nielsen
incredible driving.
and
There's been a huge push from them lately to stay
Mark
competitive
Sinsma.
with the other teams, and they're certainly proving themselves.
Campaign, top high.
And with that, we wrap up another weekend of motorsport action. But with more races lined up, be sure to join us when we come back with more Formula One.
All right, guys, that's it for this session of EA Sports Formula One FC F1 24. We'll have to continue this game at a later date. But thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. It really means a lot. And if you like the content that I provide, whether it is on Zach.coffee, whether it is Coffee with Zach in English, Coffee with Zach in French, J-Lag Radio Podcast, Omega Radio Podcast, all the other podcasts such as Mu Radio, Lambda Radio, Quantum Radio, Beta Radio, all those other ones, please consider making a donation, whether it is even just $1 or $5 or more. It really makes a huge difference. Go to paypal.me. That's paypal.com slash, I'm sorry, paypal slash, paypal.me, paypal.me slash IAMZKI. IAMZKI. All right, guys, until next time. Bye. Until next time, guys.